Hey everyone, a wonderful Monday. Welcome to today's live. We haven't done an English one in a long time. We haven't done an English one on my English channel forever. It's the very first one here. So yeah, premiere. We've always done it back on my German channel in English. If you come in, drop me a quick line, where you're coming in from. Drop me a quick hi. Always interesting to see that. And we're going to have a very, very interesting topic today. A topic that I normally don't talk much about. So that's definitely going to be very interesting. Cool. Oh, we do have some of the Germans here. Okay, you're quite early here for the English. That's nice. That's fantastic. Cool. Susanne is here. Hello together. You're going to be part of the German one as well? Great. From Singapore. Oh, great. Oh, man, I miss Singapore already. Rügen. Quite cool. Awesome. So we have quite a lot of people. I like it. Not as many as in German, but that's normal. The German group is humongous. So yeah, Stefan, sushi essen in a park. Great. Mexico, nice. Cool. We're going to have a really good topic. We're going to go through an entire list of altcoins for newbies. So that's going to be quite interesting. And yeah, so that's going to be interesting to discuss a bit. Holo and IOTA, CryptoFit. Yeah, that's the goal. Cool. So let's dive right in. Let's discuss some of the top altcoins for 2019. And what I'm going to be doing actually is I'm going to be going through CoinMarketCap. I'll go through, let's see how many we can do. I don't want to do too long of a list. Let's say we go for around 15, 20 minutes. And I'll go through all the coins. I'll give you a bit of my opinion. And at the end, I'll give you around 5 minutes for some Q&A. In 30 minutes, I have the German version as well. So I need to be ready for this one. If you want to have a bit more details and insights and everything, I have a book called Cryptocurrencies Simply Explained. It's the book that Elon Musk was taking a picture of with. I'm not sure if he actually read it, but I know he has the book. And yeah, I describe a lot more of the coins there. I go into a lot more details, especially for newbies. It's a non-technical version to learn everything about cryptocurrencies. Also, one thing, I own most of my assets in cryptocurrencies in Bitcoin. I own quite a lot of cryptocurrencies. So out of my entire net worth, especially now that crypto has gone up so much, we're recording this on the 27th of May. Obviously, my crypto holdings have gone up a lot, but most of my crypto holding is in Bitcoin. So I want to be really clear on this. Another thing that I really want to highlight, I have explained this in German already, but I do want to explain this in English as well. I used to be holding a lot of coins from my old company that I was forced to step down of 7th of January. So yeah, because I really don't agree with how I was treated in this entire step, in March 2019, so this is now 2 months ago, I sold all my coins there. I sold them in a way that the market didn't really dip from this. I really did this over weeks, basically. I sold all my coins into Bitcoin. I just don't trust, I don't feel, yeah, I don't feel safe putting my money in there. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to do this, right? If you're watching this and you're holding some of those coins, everyone has to make up their own mind, right? I want to be very transparent about this. I've always been transparent. Also, when there's this airdrop and I'm going to get new coins from the company, I will be selling them. I want to be very transparent and open about this. This is just a question I've been receiving a lot. So obviously, if I were still part in this company, I would be holding the coins. The company was never set up in any way to not deliver value. Now I just don't know this anymore. A lot of happenings were happening over the past couple of weeks and months that yeah, just raised some question marks. And so I just want to bring this out of the way and explain this. Now, again, this is just my personal opinion. This is not because there's some facts or something. This is purely a personal opinion. I think if you were in my situation, you would do exactly the same way. What you do with your money is completely your decision, and you have to, it's your own hard-earned money. So that's really, really, really important in all of this. Especially now when I go through all the other coins. This is a personal opinion. So again, I'm probably going to be completely wrong on a lot of those things. So take everything with a grain of salt. Nothing of that is financial advice. I could be wrong. I am probably wrong. And I just do this with best way possible. And I do research in the best way possible. And I just want to share this a bit with you. Yeah, again, the majority of my holdings are in Bitcoin. I generally like to focus on the larger coins. There's way less risk in the larger coins. And for me, crypto is a lot about risk limitation. It's not so much about upside. There's huge upside. we just had $1,000 increase in Bitcoin in like a single day right now, right? So it went from 7,800 to 8,800. So trust me, there's enough upside in Bitcoin. So no need to look for more upside. It's really about limiting your risk. And that, I think, is always an important one. So I'm going to do a screen share, and I'll go through all the other coins that we have here. So screen share. I hope you can see my screen. Here, let's go. Great. Let me just check the chat that everything is going correct here. One of the best books for beginners. Thank you, Kazi. I appreciate that. Great. I hope you can see the screen. So basically, I'm just a coin market cap, and I'll give you my opinion on all these coins. So Bitcoin, we kind of covered. I talk enough about Bitcoin. Yeah, majority is in there as well of my holdings. Ethereum, second largest coin. I'm a big believer in Ethereum. I don't have as much in Ethereum in percentage-wise as I used to. Reason is simple, because I bought so much more Bitcoin, selling my own company coins and trading them into Bitcoin in March. And obviously, that was a really, really good move, best move ever. So there's always something good in having some misfortune. It was the best thing, especially over the last 6 weeks. Bitcoin had this meteoric rise, and the other coins or the other company coins stayed really flat. So it was a really, really good move doing that. Lucky timing. Ethereum is going to depend a lot on it will depend a lot on Ethereum, how good they manage to do a couple of things. First of all, how fast they can get more decentralized. For them, it's going to be important. How can the key figures in Ethereum, especially Vitalik, be less important and bring the focus more on the entire community? Now, they're doing a good job already. The SEC has said that the Ethereum is decentralized, so that's really, really good. The other thing they need to do is they need to have some scaling solutions. So they need to work on Plasma, they need to work on sharding, they need to get the Raiden network up, and they need to get Casper in. So they need to have a consensus update. I'm a big believer in proof of stake. So this is going to be something that they really have to figure out. Obviously, they have to be decentralized. That's, to me, is always the most important thing. To me, those two coins here are pretty much the only two coins, so Bitcoin and Ethereum, that I would see as somewhat, okay, I can zoom a bit. They're the only ones that I would see a bit, somewhat of decentralized. All the other coins I don't see really decentralized, and I'm going to give you some of the reasons. And this doesn't necessarily mean that the coins need to be decentralized, but to me, this is always a really important fact. Let's go to the third one, Ripple. I don't hold much Ripple. Ripple is a coin that really depends on a company. XRP is the token. Ripple is the company behind it. XRP depends on how good is Ripple going to do as a company. How can they convince other banks to use this protocol to communicate among each other? How can they use this to replace SWIFT or to replace these interbank transfers? There's a second coin here that's very similar, not exactly, but very similar, is Stellar. Their token Lumen. Stellar doesn't want to focus so much on the banking industry, but goes more into third world countries. I made separate videos on this. You can just look for Julian Hosp's Ripple or Julian Hosp's Stellar. You can see a lot more details. I don't hold many coins of either, simply because these, to me, are not so much coins as a cryptocurrency. They are really very much focused on the company. So if the company does well, then obviously the coin goes up. Now, if the company, let's say Ripple, goes away, then the Ripple XRP is completely worthless. With Stellar, it's very similar. So it's almost more like a share, even though it's not a share. And to me, it's very difficult to judge these companies. I'm not saying they cannot do well. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's very difficult for me to judge that. That's why I don't hold much. Again, I prefer to cover my downside. I don't worry much about the upside in any of those coins. The upside is huge in pretty much all these coins. To me, the most important thing is not to lose money here. And that's just impossible for me to verify as in XRP and in Stellar. Bitcoin Cash is, to me, very similar to Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, is very similar to me as Bitcoin Gold. I don't hold any of those. I wouldn't recommend holding any of those. Here, I'm really, really direct. I know I'm going to get a lot of shit from the fans who want to push those. To me, those coins just try to copy the brand of Bitcoin. For me, they don't have a reason to be there. I disagree with the vision. Now, again, I completely understand that this is very subjective, and someone who is a big fan of Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin Satoshi Vision or Bitcoin Gold Yeah, to me, obviously they will massively disagree. I don't see the use case. They're not decentralized, which for a cryptocurrency is a really big key. They're completely driven by ego. They're driven by some small companies. But again, totally personal opinion. Yeah, I totally understand if you're putting some shitstorm into the comments here. I get that. So I don't hold any. I wouldn't recommend holding any. Now, this is different. XRP, here you really have to make up your own mind. I'm not recommending not to hold XRP. It's just a really clear bet. The same with Stellar. Litecoin was founded by Charlie Lee. I know Charlie really well. Charlie, in my opinion, made a smart move in 2017, stepping away from the coin, making the coin way more decentralized. And I think that's a really important move to be a cryptocurrency. Now, again, I don't see that much use in Litecoin. I understand if people hold Litecoin. I think it has some merit. I think it always works as the little brother of Bitcoin. It's way more nimble. You can use it a bit more as a test lab as well. They integrated Segwit way earlier. They want to do a sidechain with Mimblewimble, so they have extra privacy. So there's some really, really interesting things in there. And so I don't hold many Litecoins, but I do understand why people sometimes hold them, simply because it can be a good test lab, and so that could be very interesting. I'm going to pool a lot of these coins together now, and I understand that when some people say, why do you pool these coins together? I still am going to pool them together. One of them is EOS. One of them is going to be Cardano. It's going to be Tron. So I'll pool all those together. And I'm going to give you a couple of insights there, but I want to pool them a bit together. We have Tezos, who falls into there as well. What else do we have here? We have Neo that falls into this category. Yeah, I think that's, and Qtum maybe here as well. Let's go into the top 33. I think that's a good one. All these coins, they try to somehow challenge Ethereum, and all of them have some interesting merits. Now, obviously, EOS, for example, has this merit. They really have a lot of funds, a lot of money. The question with EOS is obviously how decentralized are they? There's a lot of criticism around how decentralized they are. That's, I think, a big challenge there. Also, obviously, what are you attracting? Are you attracting mercenaries, or are you attracting missionaries? Mercenaries, they love to work for money. Mercenaries love to work for money. Missionaries love to work for a purpose. And so it's always a big question what you attract here. If you believe that EOS can really outwork Ethereum, I think no one can outwork Ethereum. Only Ethereum can outwork itself. The network of Ethereum with developers and apps and so on is really, really large. It's really far ahead. To me, it's similar how Bitcoin is really far ahead in the cryptocurrency space. Ethereum, to me, is really far ahead in the decentralized application space. So Ethereum, it really has it in their own hands. I personally don't think that EOS can win against Ethereum. Neither can Tron, neither can any of those others if Ethereum does everything right. Now, obviously, if Ethereum screws up, they can be a very, very good hedge. EOS, to me, the major challenge here is just the question around how decentralized is it, how much legit stuff has been going on. There's a lot of questions about transparency with EOS. Cardano with Charles Hoskinson, one of the founders of Ethereum, very interesting project, huge possibility and upside. Huge question is obviously execution. Pretty much none of the things that are supposed to be there with Cardano are there yet. So it's all about implementation, it's all about speed, and at the end, it's all about finding the niche and doing something. If I were to start a coin here in this decentralized app space, I would probably start one with a very clear use case. I wouldn't start something in a general purpose blockchain like Ethereum does. Very difficult to compete, but I would love to be the king of something rather than the jack of all trades. Tron, to me, obviously always has this huge discussion around Justin Sun, how legit is everything, how is everything set up. To me, it's a lot of marketing. Now, I believe in marketing, right? I always believe a good business consists out of two things. It consists out of a good product and good marketing. Now, obviously, he kills it in marketing. The question is just how good is his product? I think if Tron, and he admitted that, if he weren't copying everything, it might be a good call and good choice. To me, it's just quite questionable there. Now, I'm not saying that Tron has no chance. I'm just saying, just be aware and be a bit careful. Tezos, very interesting, especially also obviously because you have also this consensus algorithm around baking. This can be very interesting. But again, you have a huge challenge against the mother, in this case, of Ethereum. Big task to go there. Obviously, we have Ethereum Classic. To me, Ethereum Classic is an interesting hedge against Ethereum. but it's just missing and lacking some of the core developers and the use cases. If you could just compare use cases and dApps, Ethereum is so far ahead, and I think that's a very key point. Neo can be very interesting. I think it's doing some nice steps. It used to be quite centralized. They're going a good route there, trying to get decentralized. So I think, yeah, that's a good job. I forgot Ontology. Ontology is also one of those smart contract platforms doing a good, walking a great walk there, going an interesting path. The crypto.com chain, sorry, I forgot that one, falls under this category of Ripple, XRP, and Stellar. If you believe in this company, ex Monaco, now crypto.com, if you believe in them and you think they're going to do a good job, you can buy them and invest in them. Obviously, they're all going to get challenged, for example, by coins like Facebook or coins like JP Morgan. So that's going to be very interesting. Obviously, yeah, quite a challenge to see how that's going to go. Qtum also going to go, also goes this route of the smart contract platforms. Yeah, interesting. So to me, it's very difficult to say which one of those has an edge over the other. If you're a follower of one of those, of course, you're going to say that you're going to have the edge. At the end, it's really about team. It's about decentralization, because that's the major question you need to ask yourself. If any of those coins are still going to be around in 10 years, it is because they're going to be decentralized. The centralized coins, they're going to be beaten by centralization. Don't forget that. There's going to be this point when these buzzwords of blockchain, of a tangle, of smart contracts, of decentralization is all going to fall away, and people are going to say, hey, what's the actual use case? And if there's no real use case because a centralized database can do it better, all these coins have no place to exist. That's, I think, a very important fact here. We have Binance Coin, BNB. Obviously, again, that's a bet on a company. So if you believe that Binance and CC is going to do a good job, hey, go for it. I actually, out of all these coins here, I own Bitcoin the most. I do own Ethereum second largest. And I actually do quite own some Binance, BNB. I do believe that Binance is doing a really good job. Yes, they got hacked, but I think they're dealing with this in a very good way. And for me, it's easier to analyze this coin as, for example, Cardano, even though Cardano might have way more upside. But for me, it's very, very difficult to analyze and judge Cardano. Very, very difficult for me. And to me, the competitors here, let's say Binance, I don't see any competitor here in the larger coins that has Binance. Now, I don't want to shill BNB at all. Like, I think there's enough problems Binance has. But just from the competitors, I mean, there's no one here in sight. All the other exchanges are way, way, way smaller that have coins. So Binance, they're very dominant status. Now we have the stable coins. We have Tether here. I wouldn't invest in Tether. I would hold as little Tether as possible. Very risky in my opinion. But obviously it's integrated in a lot of exchanges, so I understand why. There was another here under the top 30. We have this US dollar coin. Yeah, so this is also a stable coin. Not sure. I would actually exclude them out of coin market cap. That's just my opinion. Yeah, so I don't understand why they're even here. To me, that's just a replacement of something. So I don't know. Let's go further down. Oh yeah, now we have the privacy coins. We have Monero, we have Dash, we have Zcash. Where's Zcash here? We have Zcash, and some of the coins that are way, way further down is, for example, Grin or Beam. Very, very interesting coins here. That Zero Coin, for example, also falls under this. These are all these privacy coins. Now, I'm a big, big, big believer in privacy coins. I actually hold pretty much something of all of them. I hold a little bit of Monero. I hold Dash. I like the staking in Dash. I'm a big believer in this, so that's really, really powerful. I also hold some Zcash. I hold some Grin, I hold some Beam. Zero Coin, I think is very, very interesting to kind of look at those. Yeah, just because of the privacy aspect of the non-traceability. And I think that's really, really important. Now, all of them go different routes. All of them criticize each other. That's fine. That's why I diversify a bit. Next, we have IOTA. IOTA is obviously very different from all the others. It's pretty much a hedge against blockchain because IOTA goes the route of a tangle. Which is a hash graph. You can watch a video that I made, how to explain IOTA. You can watch it yourself if you want. I go into great detail. The reason I don't hold much IOTA is simply because they're completely centralized at the moment. They have this coordinator, and unless they can switch it off, which I think they're going to be able to, let's see if they claim they can do it. But as long as this coordinator is still there, to me, IOTA doesn't have much upside over a regular database. Obviously, as soon as they can switch this off, this can be very, very interesting to look at. But again, for me, it's very difficult to judge how they're going to switch it off, at what point, how decentralized is it really going to be, or is it more like, okay, there's going to be 6 people instead of 1 who are going to decide over it. So that's going to be the big question on this core side. Obviously, something definitely to follow and watch out for. But if you hold some IOTA, then it's really about you betting that they can do this, and that's going to be a huge possibility. Talked about Tezos, talked about Ethereum Classic, talked about, Cosmos is interesting. Cosmos, in a way, wants to connect all these different types of blockchains. Very interesting project, I think very promising. They're going to have their own token to do this. There's another one that does this. Hang on, where's this one? Chainlink. Chainlink is not directly linking the chains, but it's basically creating oracles that kind of combine those chains. So if you believe in these coins being able to connect these different blockchains, you should have a look at Chainlink. You should have a look at, where was it now? Cosmos. I think could be definitely something interesting to look out for. NEM is very interesting also. I forgot NEM a bit more in the smart contract. It's not directly a smart contract platform. NEM has quite a huge application. To me, what's always a difficult part with these blockchains, when they compete with a very, very powerful blockchain like Ethereum, is what's your special use case? It's not necessarily relevant for NEM, but NEO as well, and so on. So that's always a very important topic. How do you distinguish yourself? NEO, very interesting, obviously, because you can get gas, you can get those dividends. Yeah, a lot of people use it for this. You can hold it. Don't just hold NEO if you want to get gas, but really believe in the project of creating this smart world and decentralizing a lot of stuff on there. Maker, very interesting project because they create the stable coin called DAI. DAI at the moment is one of the very few decentralized stable coins. It's a decentralized stable coin that's backed by Ethereum. Very interesting model. I made a separate video on this. You can just look it up. Julian Hosp Maker. I own some Maker. I think it's a very interesting stuff. I think at the moment it's still very centralized as a token. So that means you still really rely on the company doing well. But I can foresee here that just over time, it's going to get more and more and more decentralized. So that's something that I just hope here. That's why I'm holding it. I do see the path here. I don't see much hurdles for them to become more decentralized. BAT for BAT, obviously very similar to BNB. I do hold some BAT. I think the company's doing a great job. So very, very interesting to see what they're doing. I totally, I think they're doing a good job. Browser, privacy, very, very interesting. So check this out. I think that's very interesting. I spoke about those. VeChain, very powerful also in logistics, supply chain, trying to do a lot of things. Let's see how that's going to play out. I don't hold any VeChain, but a lot of people are big fans of those. Yeah, let's see how that plays out. Talked about Chainlink. Dogecoin, to me, well, that's just, to me, it's a fun coin. To me, I don't hold any. I wouldn't recommend to buy any. I wouldn't call it a scam coin just because everyone kind of knows what it is. But yeah, I'm just really wary of the whole thing here. So yeah, I'm just, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't hold any Dogecoin. Yeah, even the founder himself, Palmer, I think his last name, he stated that he stepped away because for him this was just a joke. Stablecoin, then we have BitTorrent. Yeah, obviously that's also very reliant on the company. If this makes sense, if you believe in this, the token can be very interesting. I don't hold any. To me, again, that's very connected to Tron. So yeah, I don't hold much of that. Omisego, very interesting project. Obviously, has a lot of ups and downs in its entire kind of career, if you want to call it. Vitalik helps there. They go in there on the payment side. So yeah, let's see how this goes. But obviously, it can be very interesting also with the entire staking part. Great. So that's been kind of yeah, almost 50 coins. Yeah, 40 coins in total. We have Waves, another smart contract platform. Lisk, another one. Holochain, also one. Yeah, so we've gone through 40 coins almost with some of opinions. I would be very interested to hear what you think about all this.